We talk in Form 7 how we can find the product between two brackets. For example, x plus 2 and x plus 3. First, we multiply x times x, it will be x power 2, and x times 3, it will be 3x. 2 times x, it will be 6, and 2 times 3 will be 6. Look at the two middle terms, 3x and 2x. They are like terms, so we can make an addition between them. So the product will be x power 2 plus 5x plus 6. But in this lesson, we will take, if you have this expression, how you can find the two factors or the two brackets that their product give you this expression. This method is called the factorization. You are in Form 8, you have in Unit 1 about 8 lessons on factorization. This is the first lesson talking about how we can factorizing quadratic trinomial. Trinomial that this expression consists of 3 terms, like x power 2 plus 5x plus 6. First, you have to open two brackets. This is the first step. The second step that you will factorize x power 2. How we can factorize x power 2? That you have to find two variables, their product give you x power 2, so it will be x times x. The third step, look at the third sign. If the third sign is a positive, so the sign of the two bracket will be according to the sign of the middle term or the second term. The middle term here, 5x, is a positive, so the sign of the two bracket will be positive. Now, you have to find the factors of a 6. Which two numbers that you will multiply times 6, the result will be 6. 1 times 6 in your timetable and 2 times 3. But which of these two numbers, if you make the sum or addition between these two factors, the result give you the middle term. So 2 times 3 equals 6 and 2 plus 3 give you 5, which is in the middle term. So we will write in one bracket 3 and the other bracket 2. It does not matter if you write a final factorization between this expression, the two brackets, x plus 2 and x plus 3, or x plus 3 times x plus 2. If the third sign is a negative, so the sign of the two brackets will be one positive and the other negative. But the greatest number of the two factors of the third term will take the sign of the middle term. For example, x power 2 plus 5x minus 6. First, we open two brackets and then factorize the first term. X power 2 will be x and x. And because the third sign here is negative, so the sign of the two brackets, one will be negative and the other it will be positive. And then you have to find the factors of the third term. The third term here is 6, so the factors of 6, 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. But which of these two factors, the difference between them is 5? So we will take 1 times 6, because 1 times 6 equals 6 and 6 minus 1 equals 5. So take the greatest factor and write it beside the sign of the middle. The sign of the middle term here is positive, so the greatest factor is 6, write it beside the positive, and the other factor, write it beside the negative sign. So the final factorization of x power 2 plus 5x minus 6 will be x minus 1 and the other bracket x plus 6. Now let us take more examples. Factorize the following. Number 1, x power 2 minus 6x minus 16. To factorize this expression, first we open two brackets and factorize the first term, which is x power 2 will be x times x. And then look at the third sign. Since the third sign here is a negative, so the sign of the two brackets, one of them will be negative and the other will be positive. And then you have to find the factors of a 16. You know that the factors of a 16, 1 times 16 and 4 times 4 and 2 times 8. But which one of these two factors, their difference will be 6. So we take 2 times 8. Take the greatest factor from 2 times 8, which is 8, and write it beside the sign of the middle. So it will write beside the negative sign and the 2 beside the positive sign. Example number 2, m power 4 minus 8m power 2 plus 15. Now, to factorize, we have to open two brackets and factorize the first term, which is m power 4. So, the factorization of m power 4 here will be m power 2 and m power 2. If it is m power 6, so it will be m power 3 and m power 3, and so on. So here n power 4 will be n power 2 and n power 2. And then look at the third sign. We talked before that if the third sign is a positive, so the sign of the two bracket will be according to the sign of the middle. The sign of the middle term here is what? Is negative. So we write it, the sign of the two bracket, both of them are negative. And then find the factors of 15. The factors of 15, 3 times 15 and 1 times 15. But which of these two factors, their sum, because the third sign here is positive, will be like the middle term is 8. So we will take 3 times 5. So we write the two bracket n power 4 minus 3 and n power 2 minus 3 and n power 2 minus 5. The second type of this factorization is that you have a coefficient of x power 2 or coefficient beside x power 2. The coefficient here means that you have a number beside x power 2. For example, 2x power 2 plus 7x plus 3. How we can find the factorization for this example? First, you will take this coefficient, which is 2, and multiply it with the third term, which is 3. So the expression will be x power 2 after taking L2 and plus 7 plus 6 because 2 times 3 is 6. So we convert this example as the example that we took before. To factorize this example, we have to open two brackets. X power 2 as a factorization of it will be x times x. And look at the third sign, which is a positive. So the signs of the two brackets will be according to the sign of the middle. So both of them will be positive. And then find the factors of 6. The factors of 6, 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. But which one of these two factors will be like the middle term 7? So we took 1 times 6. Because 1 times 6 equals 6 and 1 plus 6 equals 7. Is the example finished here? No. Then you have to divide the two factors that you took with the coefficient of x power 2 in the example, which is 2. Don't forget that you take this coefficient. So you will write x plus 1 over 2 and x plus 6 over 2. And then find the simplify. 1 over 2 has no simplify. But 6 over 2, the simplify of it will be 3. We can't write a fraction in the factorization. So we take the denominator and write it beside the x. So it will be 2x plus 1 and x plus 3. Now, another example. Factorize 3x power 2 minus 13x minus 10. First, we took the coefficient of x power 2, which is 3, and multiply it with the third term, which is 10. So we convert the example to x power 2 minus 13x minus 30. And then factorization. First, we open two brackets. The factorization of the first term, x power 2, will be x times x. And look at the third sign. Since it is negative here, so we write the sign of the two brackets. One of them is negative and the other is positive. Now, you have to find the factors of 30. Factors of 30, 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, and 5 times 6. But which of these two factors, their difference will be 13 like the middle term here? So we take 2 times 15 and take the greatest factor, which is 15, and write it beside the sign of the middle. So we will write it beside negative sign. So the bracket will be x minus 15 and x plus 2. Not forget that you took the coefficient, which is 3. So that we divide these two factors, divide 3. The first bracket, x minus 15 over 3. 15 over 3, its simplify will be 5. So the first bracket will be x minus 5. But 2 over 3 has no simplify and we can't write as fraction. So we take the denominator and write it beside the x. So the second bracket will be 3x plus 2. So the final result for factorization of 3x power 2 minus 13x minus 10 will be two brackets. The first one x minus 5 and the second one 3x plus 2.